The subject here is the World Core Curriculum. Actually, it's mostly quotes from Robert Mueller, a leading UN personality who died in 2010. Let's just check these quotes for authenticity. This one would be pretty bad, but I can't find it in any reliable source. On the other hand, this one seems to be accurate. It's reported in the New Oxford Review as having been quoted from a news item in the San Jose Mercury News. This one's found repeated in a book authored by Mueller himself, New Genesis. This one's accurate and acknowledged by Mueller's own website, though it says 29 schools. Fairley may also have gotten some of the other biographical material that he correctly reports from this website. This one's a little strange. It actually appears as a description, word for word, of what Mueller was up to in a 1996 article. I can't find any verification in any reliable source that it was a quote, though it does perhaps reflect Mueller's values accurately. This quote is accurate. I wasn't able to verify this quote in any reliable source, though there can be little doubt that Bailey and Mueller had some ideological alignment. I'll give this one a 3/4 tank rating. This one's on Alice Bailey, and Fairley gets it mostly right, though he seems to take it direct from Wikipedia. I'd recommend a check of her own unfinished autobiography for a fuller picture. The mistakes in this one are mostly minor. Technically, it would be more correct to say it was called the Lucifer Publishing Company. There's also this quote, which I can't verify. But it may be in one of Bailey's more obscure works and does accurately represent her thinking. So surprisingly, I'll give Fairley a break here and give this one a full rating. This one features material on UNESCO, the education arm of the UN. I'm not a parent, so I don't want to pretend to speak authoritatively on some of these issues raised by Fairley. But let's do a couple of fact checks. Not quite true. The preamble was written by McLeish, so technically he is co-author. UNESCO itself didn't explain this. It was said by Norman Cousins in an editorial for Saturday Review. Niebuhr was not a co-founder of UNESCO, though he did write an article about it. I'd need more details on these claims. They can't be confirmed as is. These are all minor issues, so I'll be generous and award Fairley another full rating for this one. This one's more of a philosophical presentation by Fairley. Except to the extent that it's based on claimed facts from his prior presentations, it's acceptable as a sermon, so I'll rate it neutral. The same applies to this one, though I'd have to add the caveat that it's been blocked from YouTube due to copyright violation. I gotta look at the content based on the Know Your Enemy ebook. I would want to know where Fairley gets his claim that Satanists regard My Way by Frank Sinatra as one of the most satanic songs of all time. I found an anecdote by one person who claimed this was true of Satanists he knew personally, but not any sort of survey of Satanists about their favorite song. Fairley needs to do better than that. Even so, I'll rate this one neutral. In this one, Fairley wraps up his material on the UN. I've been able to verify most of these quotations, sometimes with minor adjustments. The only part I can't verify is all that follows after deity. This is an accurate quote, though it actually comes from Blavatsky's Isis Unveiled, not Secret Doctrine. Well, Hitler was certainly not a fan of her work. This is part of the myth that Hitler was an occultist, when in fact he disdained the occult. Crowley was more of a fan. He later said that Blavatsky was like a John the Baptist to him. The influence on Gandhi, Presley, and Yeats is documented by reliable sources. This quote is confirmed in multiple sources, including within the theosophical movement. The text of this quote can be verified from one of Mueller's own associated websites, but it was said by this guy, not Mueller. This quote is recorded in a 1995 book titled The Source Book for Earth's Community of Religions. It was part of what was said by Mueller as an address to the World Parliament of Religion. This quote is accurate. So is this one. So is this one. So is this one. I can't trace this one right now, as it allegedly appeared in newsletters from 1989 through 1990 that are not archived or readily available. This quote is accurate, but I give no credence to the claim Fairley further makes that a trapezoid is especially adapted to enhance demonic manifestation. This is merely paranoia, the vain imaginations of Satanists notwithstanding. I will also give no credence to Fairley's interpretation of the UN meditation room, for though I'm no fan of the UN, I do regard it as an ineffectual tool. This is mostly a real quote, but again it belongs to this guy, not to the Dalai Lama. So overall, that wasn't too bad. I'll rate this one 3/4 tank.